It's week 5 of the 2031 season, and we've got a showdown in the NFC North. It's the Lions and the Vikings, and it's all up next.
U.S. Bank Stadium holds just under 70,000 spectators, and they've come out in full force for this one. A fantastic atmosphere here in Minneapolis. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they come in on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight.
And last weekend, they pulled one out in a very low-scoring affair. It was all about their defense.
Once again, it's Brooks. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. In motion right, that's Williams. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. That is caught. He's got the first down and more. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Jamison Williams with career touchdown number 70. And the Lions will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games, and another good start to this one, out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
The extra point by McLaughlin is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
If you ask coaches at any level to design their ideal leader of a team, I think they're going to check every box with this guy. He's got the poise to handle responsibility. He stays calm under any kind of pressure, and he brings out the best of his teammates each and every week.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That good for 22 and a first down.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts, because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
Now is 2nd and 10. And they'll send the tight end in motion left. Here's McCarthy. That'll be caught by Parker. And he'll be down at the 46. So they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8. 3rd and 2. On the run, this is Hilliard. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Right back to him on first down. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Now this defense for the Lions, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down. Looking to throw McCarthy. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Vikings first down, and he was able to get it by play. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3. We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice sustained series to begin the game, and it will continue after picking up another first there.
Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game, controlling the clock.
Now a fake on the jet sweep, and off the play action, he'll look to throw it. Flying in for that sack, Aiden Hutchinson. Well, on that one, they go with a play fake, CD, but I don't think anybody really was fooled. All eyes were fixated on the quarterback, and they got him to the ground.
And to run this play successfully, you've got to make sure that everyone is doing their part. You actually have to sell this play. You've got to sell the run action. Otherwise, why do you stop at the running back? You just run straight for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
So here's a 3rd and 14. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. Eluding the... And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And he missed it. It's no good, and this will stay at a 7-point game. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
He'll get this up to the 47 and brought down there. Hey, look at this defense for the Vikings. We know they're going to be tough to throw on. Top 3 in the NFL defending the pass.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window, because this is what you prepare for. This is what you practice for. This is what you think about. The ultimate test, taking on the #1 overall offense in the league.
55 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Final 30 seconds of this first quarter, and it's been a quarter dominated by the guys with the football. Now a play fake here on first down. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. I was waiting for them to get there first because the momentum they carry from last week, unbelievable. They had a snowman, 8 sacks.
You were surprised that it took this long, and this isn't that long, truthfully. But here's the thing. If you've seen that on tape, your offensive line is going to have to ask for help. Tight end has to stay in. If you use a fullback, keep him in. Make sure you have extra people to try and keep your quarterback upright. Didn't work on that play.
The Lions with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it facing a 2nd and long situation. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass, but it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too.
Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
Well, Well, that kind of catch is supposed to pay off with at least a first down, isn't it?
Instead, he'll just add it to his highlight reel, but they don't pick up the first.
Yeah, he gets the yardage, he gets the catch, but now they have a decision to make.
And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. And the Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Throwing is McCarthy. He finds Parker. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. It's another first down on what will be a gain of 21 yards.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On play action, McCarthy. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for him.
And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Aiden Hutchinson able to record his 5th sack of the season.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Back to throw. McCarthy. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 5 yards, not enough. And it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4.
Looking to throw. Baker. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown.
And St. Brown going to have the Lions first down as he gets this up past the 40.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. 2nd down in the yard. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
He's across midfield.
And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
Well, certainly as a fan, you get a little bit nervous when you see him make those kind of throws. But they work on that in practice more than we know. And most of them now know their limits and know what they can get away with. And there's a completion right there.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that'll be caught. It's St. Brown. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game.
Brooks not going anywhere. He'll lose a couple back to the 6.
A loss of 2 there, second down.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
One more time with Brooks.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Off the play fake. Baker. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. A great effort there.
His 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
McLaughlin now to add the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Vikings head out to take over once again.
And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
Operating from the gun. McCarthy.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Back to throw again.
That one complete to Parker.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 31-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Working out of the gun is McCarthy.
And that's incomplete.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
They'll look to throw again.
Complete. Jefferson the target.
He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
McCarthy operating from the gun. Oh, and that is incomplete.
A I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
York able to send this one through. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point of drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he will perhaps get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And time has run out on this first half. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We begin with a rematch of the very first Super Bowl ever played. Green Bay, the winners in that one, taking on Kansas City. And it's the Chiefs who have the lead in that one. Rashee Rice, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. From there, we're off to check out another game. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. Devontae Smith, a touchdown reception. Lastly, we head to the Gulf Coast and check on the Bucs at home in Tampa. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. Bucky Irving with a touchdown run.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
Ready for the second half. 14-3 our score as we are back underway on EA Sports.
And it's a pretty good return here as they get this up to the 29.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again.
And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a carry here for Hilliard. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
They'll run. It's Hilliard. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw. McCarthy.
Looking right side, and it's intercepted. Now inside the 25.
And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line.
As they started that drive, I think they looked at the scoreboard and said, this is a manageable deficit, guys, but let's go ahead and start cutting it down right here. Instead, an interception happened, so a 2-possession game might become 3. So as we get going here in the second half, this could rapidly reach the point where there isn't enough time left for a comeback if their defense doesn't bail them out.
So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half.
And really, you can't have a better situation than this. 1st and goal at the 1.
Here's Baker. From the gun, he'll throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
His 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Lions are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
And that's a drive that makes everyone happy on that bench because they accomplish exactly what they set out to do. take care of the football, eat up a little clock, end up in the end zone. Now they've got a cushion for the rest of the game, so they didn't just help themselves offensively, they helped their defense out as well.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line.
And now you have to wonder, partner, at what point in time do they forget the running game? It's been a struggle so far in this one. I would think they'd have to start throwing it a little bit more.
They'll keep it on the ground. Hilliard.
And he'll get about 2 there to the 36.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Looking to throw. McCarthy. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
Aiden Hutchinson getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the 3rd quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return, and the Lions will take over. So here are the Lions to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. In motion, the tight end. Baker now, off play action. Can't get away, and he's taken down.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Well, partner, I would say just avoid play action, but that's not just been the problem. This defense, they've been getting pressure on all types of pass plays and really piling up the sacks in this contest.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39.
75 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
To throw is Baker from the gun on third down.
He's got his target. That's complete.
Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year.
And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And they open the lead up now to 25. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
He'll get this complete to the rookie first-round pick.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that's going to bring up second down.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 46-yard line.
Now McCarthy. Throw to the right, hauled in by Addison.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
A 5-yard gain on the play. That's good for the Vikings. First down. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
On play action, now McCarthy. Looking for Addison again, and he's got him again.
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
13 yards remaining on second down. Throwing again, McCarthy.
Forced out to his left. It's a gain of 9 yards, and they're going to have a third down.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on second down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for a first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
And he will have a Vikings first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up.
The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
McCarthy off the play fake.
Shoves him away. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard at the 25-yard line.
Now a handoff up the middle. Hilliard, and he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
At the 23-yard line.
To the air with McCarthy.
His throw incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
He was defended by Kirby Joseph.
They'll try the left side. Hilliard. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything, change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
There go play action. Here's McCarthy.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Going for it. Here's McCarthy. Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
First down and goal to go.
Looking to throw McCarthy.
And he will not get away. He's sacked back around the 3-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards there on the play as that'll lead to a 2nd and goal.
Well, partner, you and I will be headed to the airport, but after this game, when it's interview time,
Someone's going to ask this quarterback what hurt worse, the interceptions or the sacks. His whole day has been rough.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Vikings are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter. Well, it seemed like they were so focused elsewhere, they forgot about the tight end spot, and he's the one that burns them there to make this a 3-score game here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
I think there might be a little bit of defensive fatigue from those guys on that side of the ball, partner, because they've been spending their time trying to stop him from all angles. This time the tight end gets him.
New York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. The Lions offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the fourth quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. The offense on 3rd down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Back to throw. Baker. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
Good clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get them off the field with a 3 and out.
Here comes the Lions punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Taking it about the 16. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards.
And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. From the shotgun, McCarthy. Over the middle and complete to Addison.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it.
Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. Will go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 42-yard line.
Here's McCarthy.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Throwing is McCarthy. This is caught by Addison.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
That's good for the Vikings. 1st down. 1st and 10.
Sticking with a pass. Here's McCarthy. He gets it to Addison.
It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll make it 2nd down. Again, he'll drop to throw.
He finds Parker.
That'll put him right at 99 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
To the right side, he's got Parker.
And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7.
From the 7, it's 2nd and 5.
Back to throw again.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Looking to throw.
McCarthy.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
And the Vikings are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Back to throw.
McCarthy.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings.
J.J. McCarthy.
taking it in from a yard out. And the Vikings have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth. The fourth quarter touchdown there, back to a 2-score game, but time is not their ally.
No, it's not, partner. They still have a pulse, but it's probably a little weak right now. A lot of things have to go right in these final 2 minutes plus for them. I think they have to be thinking onside kick here, and we know how difficult those are to recover.
Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead is down to 11 at 28-17. And the Lions are able to cover this one up. The risk-reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
St. Brown in motion right. They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory.
Another run on second down, trying to cover up.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up.
So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Complete on the quick throw to Moore.
And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left.
Five points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
On third down, they go with Brooks. And he will have a Lions first down, and that's the one that should seal a victory. 94 yards for him on the ground now on 18 carries.
First down.
And the Lions will take the knee here with victory in the cards. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one.
But Charles, you think about this victory, pretty impressive. They came in facing one of the top defenses in the National Football League. Not only did they get the win, they played a clean football game, didn't have any turnovers against that great defense.
Yeah, it's a terrific observation because you know they emphasize ball security, wanted to avoid making any major mistakes playing against that tough defense, and they were turnover free and took points when they were available. Excellent execution, and they did it confidently.
So for the Lions, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Lambeau to take on the Packers. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against the Chicago Bears. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner.